the El Clasico derby has caused a lot of problem in the team. Vinicius want to score from an impossible angle. Likewise, Mbappe. They don't create the chance for somebody to score. They want to score they themselves. Actually, Madrid are not in their best of form after the match against Barcelona. The El Clasico derby has caused a lot of problem in the team. The players lose concentration, and more especially their attack. They are not clinical in their finishing. Vinicius want to score from an impossible angle. Likewise, Mbappe. They don't create the chance for somebody to score. They want to score they themselves. Vinicius to Mbappe, Mbappe to Vinicius. It's not working. It's not like everybody wants to score. Even in a tight corner, in an impossible angle, they keep trying to find their way to the net.
So you think the problem boils down to Vinicius and Mbappe, or is the problem Mbappe?
Really, the problem is the both of them, the Vinicius and the Mbappe, because Vini don't want to go to the strike, don't want to play the striking role. Likewise, Mbappe. They both want to operate from the flank, and it's impossible. One have to leave the flank for one, and mostly you find Mbappe off target. He's never there playing as at the point, at the target in looking for the goal. He's always off the target because he wants to be operating from the side. So anytime the ball is coming from the side, you find that there is no point man in the box to do the finishing, and that forces Vinicius more at times to hit from off target, looking for the target.
But last season, when we had the pairing of Vini, Bellingham and Rodrigo, there wasn't any point man.
Yeah.
But we didn't experience this problem. So what is the difference now?
Yeah, last season, mostly you find Bellingham taking over the point man position. He's operating from the midfield. But whenever the ball is from the flank, you always find him in possession. That's why Bellingham scored more goals last season compared to this season. Yes.
So from what you are saying now, it still sounds like Mbappe is a problem. So, okay, as a coach, let me ask you this. If you were a coach, would you force the team to play to the strength of a particular player, or would you make the player to adapt and play to the strength of the team?
When you try option A, it's not working, you go back to option B.
So what option are Real Madrid currently playing in?
The Madrid, in fact, they want to force themselves to play. The coach wants to force them to play what he wants them to play. You understand? And instead of him to fall back, since the option A did not work, fall back to option B, he still persists on that and it's not giving him results. So I expected him to go back to the traditional game. You understand? If Mbappe wants to operate from side, let Bellingham operate as a false nine, coming from behind. Let Mbappe be creating the space for him, so that Bellingham will be covering the space. But rather, you see Valverde have taken the place of Bellingham. So Bellingham is playing a bit behind Valverde, and Valverde is not taking up to the responsibility. He's always lacking behind. But if Bellingham should take that position, I think Bellingham will do more, because he's a box-to-box player. He goes and he comes back. I believe he will do well.
What about that right wing? Since the absence of Rodrigo in the squad, it's like that place is just leaking. If we check the lineup, we see Bellingham. Bellingham is put there in the right wing, but you'd never see him there. Instead, majority of the game you see Lucas Vazquez there. Is it that there are no other players in the Real Madrid squad that can cover that space, or is it a must that Bellingham, Vinicius and Mbappe must play?
That is another problem I think the coach is having, because I think there are more better players on the bench who can operate from that position in the absence of Rodrigo. Brahim Diaz is there. Ceballos is there. This young man that just came in, the guy with her,
Sabobi.
No, not Sabobi. He's a white guy. He came in as a substitute in this. His name is, I don't really. So he too can operate from that side too. But I don't know why they keep persisting that these three players must be there every game. They must be there. So at least as a coach of his class, I don't expect that from him. At least bring in Diaz. Diaz is equal to the task, and he's a utility player. He can play from both flank and the midfield, and he's very skillful. He's swift like Rodrigo, and I expect him to introduce the ball in the absence of Rodrigo.
What about the case of Sabobi? You signed this guy. You signed this guy as a backup striker, and your main striker, which is Mbappe, is not doing well. What are you supposed to do towards the end of the match? Aren't you supposed to substitute him in?
Yes, I think Carlo Ancelotti did not believe in Endrick. He did not believe in the boy. He's still looking at the boy as still a young lad. He never believed in the boy. What I expected him to do, give him a try. In fact, I see some of these these substitutions as trial and error. You might do it and it worked for you, and you might do it, it fails you. But presence of Mbappe there gives the defenders high expectation from him, so they will work extra hard to keep Mbappe because of a player of his class and caliber. But introducing Endrick, this is a young lad. There are things that Mbappe will not like to do, stress himself, other things, but there are risks that Mbappe cannot take, and there are risks that this young lad will take because he wants to. His hunger for the game. There are things he will do, things that Mbappe cannot do. Sometimes, maybe some tackles, he will not endanger himself into some tackles like that. But this young boy can take anything because he's hungry to play, and he's.
So moving forward, what do you think Carlo Ancelotti can do to change what is currently going on with his Real Madrid squad?
Really, first thing first, he need to do his homework right. Talk to these players. There is a discipline in football. There is defensive discipline, midfield discipline, and attacking discipline. And there is discipline with the ball, discipline off the ball. You understand? And there is positional discipline. What Mbappe needs to do, if really he wants Mbappe to play as a point man, let him be attacking discipline. Because look at a player like Haaland. Let me give you an example with Haaland. Haaland can have a limited touches in a game and score more goals. Limited touches. Maybe his first touch can be a goal, and spend like 2-3 minutes without a touch on the ball, and the next touch, 1 or 2 touch, is behind the net. So that is what Mbappe needs at the moment. But Mbappe wants to be on the ball at every given second. He wants to be feeling the ball. That's why he's running away from his responsibility, moving everywhere. You find him in the midfield going to play. You find him going to the defense line to get the ball. He's not attacking. He doesn't have that attacking discipline. He doesn't have that patience. Yes, he's not playing. He never took up the responsibility of, yes, I'm a point man. He's still playing that sided midfielder kind of a game.
So Mbappe needs to work on his game.
Sure. Very good.
So he needs to stop moving around and focus on being the main striker.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. But did you expect in this scoreline today, Milan beating Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu?
I'm really surprised. I'm shocked to see that result. I least expect this result. At least the worst I see is draw. It's a draw game. But Milan, wow. They really work on themselves, and if you can see, if you watch the Milan team, the discipline I'm talking about, they observe all those discipline. Their defense is intact, their midfield is always intact, likewise their attack. You always find somebody at the point there. When you have somebody there at the point, you must score a goal. Either maybe you score, they cancel it in the name of offside. You see, players that are hungry for goals, you mostly cut them in an offside position. That shows that, yes, we want to score. We want to score. the striker that is always being caught in offside position shows that yes, he's eager, he's hungry for that goal. But look at Mbappe. How many times has he been caught in offside? None.
What of all the offsides in the Barcelona game?
Yeah, because Barcelona is playing Highland. Barcelona is playing a Highland defense. That's why the offside will be there. And the Barcelona start keeping their offside right from the midfield. And you know the Madrid attackers have pace. They are faster. So Barcelona knew that they can't match up to that pace. So the best way is to keep the Highland.
Well, anyways, Real Madrid need to do their homework, and kudos for Milan for giving us such an interesting game.